Stop payment of loans will be one of the last things we do. The first steps include people joining the kingdom, setting up our own industries and buying ones that we can get cheap because they have no customers, controlling jobs so only our people work, so others have to liquidate their property and we can buy theirs cheap, acquiring gold and silver and putting in the final parts of the plan as far as wage and price structures. A list of systems to be instituted that details need to be worked out on include such things as wage, price, farmland allotment, infrastructure, laws and business models. There will be no devil in the details allowed. The rapture. This is a quick taking up to God's level. This is for God. This is your duty. This will be a country you will truly love. This is something worth fighting for and having a price in. This is something worth fighting for. The only thing you should report without a doubt is infiltration and espionage. Instead of national security censorship, we will have national purity censorship. We don't have to worry about a lot of laws against things. If it's not godly, then it will be cast into the lake of fire. Of course, public demonstrations against the kingdom will not be tolerated. If you have a problem with God, then you need to take it up in prayer with Him. And if you really can't handle it, then you need to excuse yourself from the kingdom. In no situation will there be a dominant and minority interest with our kingdom and the other kingdoms. We don't make deals with the devil and his people. Since no other political parties are allowed, if we can't get total control of a legislative body, then we'll start our own. The problem we have with legislative bodies now is they have different parties. One's always a minority, and one is always a majority. If a legislative body has two parties or more, then something isn't right. You need to come up with a better party. That is why we will not be part of a body that we are not the only ones. By being the only ones, we will be able to actually get something done. I realize that one-party systems have their own problems, but that's because none of them are right. If they were right, there would not be problems. We are right. Based on these rules of one party, I guess we will be starting our own in all of them. Theocrats are to run in every election possible so that we can find out which ones we have before starting a new one. Then on the day the command goes forth, they will quit the old and join the new. After the command goes forth, no theocrats are to be part of the old systems. On the day all change to the new system from the old legislative bodies, we will take all Christians with them. Sin is infectious and destroys a person. Behavior that is not really a sin, but is destructive to the cleanliness of a person and can spread to others, is to be cast into the lake. The person also, if deemed to be unclean. If someone sins, breaks a law, or does behavior that is not acceptable, they will be isolated and rehabbed until deemed clean. If the person does something that requires being removed from the kingdom, it will be done immediately. We will have a new set of laws and punishments. Laws will be added as necessary. If you admit you are unclean, then we will consider letting you back if you feel shame. Most sins will cause you to be banished, since there is no reason to do any of them. Sin is shameful, and people that do shameful things are not allowed in the kingdom. A person that does behavior that is not worthy of the kingdom has to change their behavior. It doesn't matter whether it's an inside or outside sin or behavior. It's still the same punishment. The behavior, once removed and reappears, will then cause the person to be cast in the lake of fire. A person must be ceremonially cleaned to be let back into the kingdom. All in the kingdom will be ceremonially clean at the offering of the bulls. 7 days are required to ceremonially clean someone. The only sin offerings allowed will be for community sins. You will not be allowed to sin, then just bring a sheep. Entire nations become ours when we have control of the government, but each person still has to join or be excluded. Land owned by kingdomers is considered a republic of Jerusalem. Entire cities and nations are a republic only when there is complete adherence to the rules of the kingdom, and all unworthy have been ousted.